Guys, it's official. We have a new UAP hearing this September the 9th. I just finished watching another reality check with Ross, and honestly, it was packed with a lot of updates about this upcoming UAP hearing this September. And there is a lot to share. So let's go through what Ross said, why it matters, and of course, I want to hear what you all think too.
And I should start off the top, Megan, by noting and recording the fact that Representative Eric Burleson, who sits on the Oversight Transparency Committee in the House, has acknowledged that there will be a UAP hearing, a public hearing, on the 9th of September. And he's gone even further. He's stipulated that there will be at least 3 witnesses. One is a former US Air Force veteran who will speak about 5 UAP incidents. Another is a Navy officer who witnessed UAP events firsthand. Intriguing. And the other is a US Air Force officer who has witnessed firsthand events. I like the sound of that word, firsthand. Obviously, I would like the scientist with the spanner that's fixing the TR-3B, but this all sounds very, very promising. I'm not sure who these people are. I'm aware of first-hand witnesses that I and others have prodded towards the Senate Select Committee for Intelligence, and I know that there's been conversations going on in back rooms discussing the necessary protections and security clearances that need to be gone through to allow people to talk about certain things. So fingers crossed. It's exciting.
All right, so the first big thing, we have an official confirmation from Eric himself that there is going to be a public UAP hearing on September the 9th. That's exciting. That's great news. I'm excited. Now, we are talking 3 witnesses lined up. However, I've read that there will be up to 5 possibly. Now, we know that there will be a former Air Force veteran with 5 UAP cases to share, Navy officer who actually saw one of these things. I assume he saw the actual craft or perhaps the bodies. And another Air Force officer with direct encounters. Sounds like a first-hand witness, which Ross kept pointing out the word first-hand. So these aren't people repeating second-hand stories, although we've heard a lot of credible people that were second-hand witnesses, like David Grush. These people, to me, it sounds like they've actually been there. They've seen the craft, they've seen the bodies, and that's exciting. But what do you think? What do you think? Are these the kinds of witnesses we need to move the conversation forward? Or is this just going to be another hearing like the last one, where the whistleblowers weren't really able to say much? Now, a lot of people are saying, okay, cool, but where are the scientists and the engineers who worked on reverse engineering these vehicles? And that's a good point, but I think the reality is that Congress isn't really offering that kind of crazy protection and clearance, and never will, I think. Let's continue.
To some degree, the public hearings are a dog and pony show. You know, we're being shown and told what we're allowed to be told. There's a hell of a lot more that's known about inside the private skiffs, the secure skiffs inside the Congress where briefings have been given. Congressmen and senators, congressional representatives and senators know a hell of a lot more privately than they do or can talk about publicly. And this is one of the dilemmas right now, and I sense a growing impatience from UAP social media that it's just not fair. And it's not fair. Absolutely, it's not fair. But the simple fact is, if the US does have classified, waived, unacknowledged special access programs operating under compartmentalised security clearances, and if these are in some way authorised by some kind of presidential executive order or presidential executive action directive or emergency action directive, the so-called PED, I guess there might be some perceived legal legitimacy for why this is all being kept secret. And I think we're just going to have to muddle on, and I don't think you're ever going to see the kind of disclosure that people are hoping for in the Congress. It's going to have to come from President Trump or whoever it is in the White House when the decision is made to be more candid with the public.
This part really stood out. Ross is super honest and is saying public hearings are kind of a dog and pony show. Like they let us see a little bit, but most of the real information stays locked behind classified doors. So we'll probably hear some interesting stories, I guess, but don't expect anyone to suddenly pull out pictures of alien technology and admit that we've been reverse engineering crafts. That stuff, if it exists, probably going to stay classified. Although, quick question for you, do you think a president will ever actually greenlight full disclosure? It's where Ross kept hammering the point. The only way we'll ever get a real disclosure if president actually decides it's time. Congress won't do it. And also the intelligence agencies definitely won't do it, because why would they? It has to come from the very top. And problem is, who's ever the president at the time usually has bigger fires to deal with, wars, economy, elections, and let's be real, this stuff, it's probably not on the top of the list to do. So yeah, September the 9th, this hearing should be fun to watch. We'll probably hear some wild first-hand stories, but if Ross is right, the real secrets are still tucked away where we can't see them. Until then, I will catch you in the next one.